What's up, fishy friends? Today we're going to do a review on the Turtle Clean 15. Essentially, this is a product by Zoomed that is advertised for an external canister filter for your turtle or amphibian tank. And supposedly this unit itself does a max of 15 gallons. I will not be using this product for its intended purposes. I will be using it as a miniature canister system for a 30-gallon that I have. It's a pretty straightforward, cute little unit. Couple things about it. Building it took a little bit. It does come with an instruction pack. I would read the instructions. There's a couple quirks about it that even as a professional as myself, I had to refer to the instructions to kind of figure it out. But essentially it's a canister. Your ceramic and carbon as advertised go on the right, and this intake sponge goes on the left. Water comes in, water goes out. Pretty straightforward little unit. One thing I didn't like about the builds right off the bat with it is it comes with these teeny little rubber stoppers that go in the bottom. Anytime I move the unit itself or adjust it or seem to slide it across the floor or tip it upside down, these little things come out. I'd recommend either gluing them in or just skipping that step altogether because I find them personally very annoying. I also find it interesting that they already aren't glued into the bottom of this. Could be a very easy thing for Zoomed to do at the factory that they clearly just don't. It's a click and lock system, so essentially you lock it, you unlock it, you find the little apparatuses, they click on, they slide on, that's your pressure fit scenario. When I first opened the box and I tried to open this and get this actually separated, it did take me considerable amount of effort and a little bit of maneuverability to make that work. I didn't love how hard and difficult it was to open this for the first time. Your intake and outtakes are very straightforward. So this is your outtake in a spray bar fashion. It is completely flexible and manipulatable to whatever you are looking for. The intake is semi the same thing, it just doesn't have the same maneuverability to it. It does come with this teeny little basket on the end of the intake. It is super adorable and cute. However, the downside to this product I found right away is the gap here. So essentially this little hinge right in there and these teeny little plastic pieces that hold it together. These are kind of a one and done scenario. So when I mean that, I'm going to say you're going to set it up and you probably aren't going to get many more uses out of what I just did with it. The more you play with that teeny little plastic, it will snap right off and they're going to either have to glue it or it's just going to be an open intake basket. It's a little bit useless to itself just based on how cheap the plastic is on this section. The fit right here to the intake is actually very snug. I like this a lot. I feel very comfortable that this isn't going to go anywhere. It's not going to fly anywhere. For a turtle product and having turtles in my own repertoire of knowledge, I would never trust a turtle with something this flimsy. Turtles can be very destructive and can be very almost aggressive with their equipment sometimes if they're bored or anything like that. So this is something I wouldn't think would hold up to a turtle mouth or something swimming by it or bunking into it. So keep that in mind. The hose length itself to this product, very short. Very, very, very short. You can tell right in between my hands here that it is not very long. I was a little bit disappointed to open the product and see how short these were. I knew that they were going to be short. I was not expecting them to be this short. So essentially they're asking this product to be right next to the tank or on the tank itself. Don't love that, can get around that. For its intended purposes as to why I bought this product is this filter will be hanging out on top of my tank on the lid. So it works for me for that, but keep in mind that these hoses are very, very short. It came with 5 of these lovely little suction cups here. Why not 6? I'm not sure, just 5, that's all they gave you. They are pretty universal. They go a little bit wider, a little bit shorter. They're your standard suction cup, guys. There's nothing about this that screams quality to me. There's nothing about this that is going to last a lifetime. Most time what happens with suction cups over time is this rubber piece eventually kind of degrades, gets hard, and it loses its suction ability. But that's to each their own. You can use them or use whatever aftermarket ones you have. I will be probably using these just because I don't have any aftermarket ones on hand. For your outtake, it does have the spray bar apparatus, which I will be using. It also does have this lily cup scenario, and I am unsure as to if the lily cup is supposed to sit on this rubber or is supposed to sit just directly on the plastic. I guess it's up to you. I will not be using this lily cup, for lack of a better word, only because I feel like it's gonna blow your water absolutely everywhere. There's not a lot of control happening here. I'm not even gonna use the spray bar as a spray bar apparatus. I'll be using it as a flow maker by making it vertical in my tank and just kind of kicking some water around. I don't need it to spray at the surface. The nitty gritty to this right now, guys, is the media. So this media here is crap. I hate this media. I think what they do is they try to cheap out and sell you something that is easy to mass produce and is lightweight, and that is this product. Essentially, this is just clay. It's clay little circles that they sell you, expecting it to be a media that's going to filter your turtle tank, and in my opinion, this will not. There's better media on the market, and how filtration works for your tanks is all about surface area, and we're going to break that down real quick here. But essentially, if I was to zoom in with a microscope onto this guy, they'd have micropores on the surface of it where bacteria and microbials could grow, and the fact of them being hollow is just to increase that surface area. However, that being said, this is a very, 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 very cheap ceramic media, and I will not be using this. I'm not even going to put this in my tanks. I'm not going to use this for another project. I will not be using this stuff because I can tell right now that it's just not what I'm looking for. So it does come with ceramic. I will say that. It does come with ceramic. Not enough ceramic in my opinion, and the type of ceramic that they're using for turtles or amphibians as advertised is not adequate enough in my opinion. This is a quick dirty review for you guys. I'm being completely honest. I will not be using this. It does come with this massive, massive, massive bag of carbon. I've never seen a product come with something this large for the size of product. What it wants you to do, and as is advertised, is it wants you to shove this carbon down in here, and then the 40% space that's left over from that, they want you to throw the ceramics on top, put the top on and go. No filter works like that. I would never run it like this. I'm not even going to run the carbon in general, and I'll explain that separately. But breaking into media itself, so we're actually going to start by loading this guy up real soon. All right, let's finally get back to the part of this build, as we're actually officially going to build this right now. So I'm going to take this guy out. I'm gonna put him aside. This is for your kind of outtake filter sponge. But essentially, we're gonna talk about media. So the media that came with it, I've already been through this. I hate it. I've explained why I hate it. Now we're going to use something that I like. So there are many different types of media that you can use. I have two different examples right here. So in this bucket, this is live media, so that's why it's wet. By live, I mean it's from one of my tanks that are currently running. And it's alive. So the bacteria is here. It's basically an insta-cycle when I put it over, hence why I have to keep it wet in this yucky brown water. But essentially the difference between media, real quick, I will do a separate video on this to really explain it, but this stuff right here is what the canister came with. It is this very tiny, little, very cheap clay ceramic. Okay. This here is a different kind of media. This is actually from Eheim itself, and you can tell already how textured these are, and these are completely blank, brand new, out of the box. And the comparison between this smooth surface and that kind of grated, sandy surface is so different, guys. Like, you can tell. I don't even have to really explain it to you. So surface area is all about the amount given. This has none. This has a bunch. Like this, as much as I love this media, it won't be the media we're using today. The media we will be using today is from AquaClear, and it comes in these nice, lovely mesh bags. I love these mesh bags because they don't get gunged up too hard, and they're really easy to rinse. Bringing this closer, you can already tell that there is a ton of surface area in here, guys, and as you can tell by the color, it is filtered and alive. I'm holding billions and billions of microbials right now that are meant to filter fresh water. So without further ado, let's get this filter build started. I will be starting with not one, but 2 packs of this media. And I don't have one of these, guys. I have 2 of these, and I've already doubled what the box gave me for media by skipping using the carbon and just adding this lovely ceramic. It might actually be a little too much. We'll see. Okay, so let's pray that that closes. But that is where the water is going to come in. It's going to flow right through this for me. It's going to go through all of that. So this entire chamber is surface area. If I was to do what the box recommended, 90% of that would be carbon on top of the ceramic that they gave me. So I've already like quadruple, 5 times the amount of media that is now in. This sponge here, brand new, right out of the box. It does say to rinse it. However, I'm not gonna rinse it in tap water. This lovely brown liquid is from my 75-gallon. I just cleaned my filter to grab this media from it. And essentially what this is, guys, is this is live living bacteria that is meant to filter your tank. This is what eats your ammonia and your fish waste and converts it into livable scenarios. So if I was to rinse this just in tap water, I'm not actually rinsing it with anything beneficial. What I am going to do today is I'm going to soak it and rinse it and toss it around in this water that this media came from to essentially seed this sponge just as much as the media is here, creating more of an insta cycle. So I don't have to run this filter through a cycle. So you can already tell that I kind of have some brown water in here, which is great. That's actually bacteria. That's what I want. I'm going to slip this guy in. This piece actually comes off of the unit, clips off, so that's my propeller right there. And then this guy folds onto here. This little tube here, I'm assuming it's so it sucks out the air from the filter. So when I click this on here, you'll see what I mean immediately. So this clicks on, and then this teeny little hose right up to the top of the filter. So I'm assuming when you turn it on, it will pull out the air for you, so you don't end up with this air bubble and a bunch of noise happening. So that's pretty cool. I've never actually seen that. So we'll see if that actually works or not. Yeah, so let's get rid of this brown water. We'll hook this bad guy up. And the next shot, you guys will see it actually running on my tank, okay?